You're afraid of not having enough clients. You're afraid of branching out on your own. You're afraid of taking your business to the next level. You're afraid of making that move to secure that partnership. You're afraid of engaging that person. You're afraid of doing that deal. You're afraid of stepping out. You're afraid. What are you afraid of? Fear is nothing but an illusion. My name is Monesi, and you're watching Get Yours. I'm not saying that fear is not real. Fear is real, but how you manage your fears, how you control your thinking about being afraid is a precursor to getting ahead in life. Moving forward, making progress is the antithesis of fear, because what fear does is it paralyzes you. It stops you from moving. It stops you from acting. It prevents you. It creates boundaries for you to not move ahead. And sometimes those boundaries can be cloaked in the sense of excuses. They can be cloaked in the sense, in the name of passing the buck, or using scapegoats, or saying, I cannot do this because, I cannot do this because, I cannot do this because. But all of it is a kind of fear which is a perimeter fence in your mind which is there to prevent you from moving forward. We must not confuse fear with danger, because the reason why fear exists and why it is a real emotion is because it presupposes a threat on our material existence. And threats are things to be dealt with and to be taken seriously, because threats can lead to loss, okay? And one of the things that human beings do not enjoy is losing. We do not enjoy losing anything. We don't enjoy losing health, life, material possessions, because it is directly linked to our sense of purpose. So we must not confuse fear, which is the mental perimeter fence that we have, to danger and threats, which are directly, factually, these are factual things that are linked to our ability to lose stuff, okay? So once you identify that there is something that is a threat to you, you need to deal with that threat objectively and and create either a shield or a defense or an insurance against that threat, or move away from the area where that threat exists. But not acting, not moving, being stuck in inertia is counterproductive, and in fact can make you go backwards rather than what we want you to do in Get Yours, and that is to move ahead and progress. All right? What are you afraid of? The only thing to be afraid of in life is yourself, okay? I asked a friend the other day, how many species of birds exist in this world? And she had recently been to one of our Great Lakes here in Kenya, and she said to me, oh, well, we were there on a tour and someone told me that there are about 400 odd species of birds. Okay, so these 400 species of birds, when we think about when they were, from the time that they were born, from the time that they were eggs and they became chicks and then they hatched, and now they left their mother's nest and they had to fly into the world and look for food and grow up and become adults and lay their own eggs and become and perpetuate their species. These 400 species of different birds, and each species might have 10,000, a population of 10,000 or 100,000. How many hawks are there? How many eagles are there? You name it, okay? The question that I asked her is, who is responsible for feeding these birds? How do they have a strategic business plan in their lives where they say, okay, you know what, I have to do this because if I don't fly off this nest, or if I fly out of this nest, then there's so many things that can happen. I can fall down, I can be eaten, my wings might not work, and so on and so forth. The birds have every single possible excuse not to live and not just survive, but not to thrive. But in one way or the other, the abundance that exists in this life on this planet is able to cater for and feed all of these different species of birds. And the same can be said of human beings. There is a preconceived idea that resources are scarce. I want you to listen to me very carefully. That preconceived idea, whether you want to call it economics, whether you want to call it supply and demand, whatever, that preconceived notion, there was a reason, there was a time and place for that preconceived notion to exist. That time is over, all right? We now have something called the internet, which has allowed huge expanses of geographies and peoples to be brought together in real time. And what we once used to think or know about different people and different lands and different places is now within the click of a button, okay? And that ability alone should tell you that resources in this day and age now are not as limited as we thought they were. And in fact, I challenge you to get out of that limited capacity thinking and move forward. Don't have these preset fears that you have in your mind that there's only a certain number of clients that I can get for my business. There's only a certain number of jobs that I can do based on my skills and my talents. There are only a certain number of this and that I can offer for this and that audience or target market or group. Whatever it is, whatever excuse that you have to not progressing and getting ahead, that is a construct of your mind, okay? We live in a time now where access to information is immense, okay? And I'm not just talking about the search engines and the social media platforms. I'm talking about how connected we are as a community to each other and how vast our reach is in terms of our ability to know about different areas and different people, okay? Use that. There's nothing else to fear apart from your own ability to progress. You have a decision to make every day when you wake up. What is it that you want to do and how much do you want to grow? My favorite saying this year is, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Please keep that in mind the next time you are afraid of something, okay? As always, guys, I love engaging with you and sharing with you. Many of you have things that you are truly afraid of. And fear is one of those emotions which is directly linked to loss. We don't like losing things. We don't like losing loved ones. We don't like losing material possessions. We don't like losing things that we've worked hard for, whether it's a reputation or a job or a career or a business, whatever it is, we don't like losing. So you need to be practical and deliberate about making sure that you have things in place that will stop those things from getting lost, okay? Now, that means taking action, not being afraid and not doing something about it, okay? Be someone who is action-oriented, be purposeful, be deliberate, and most importantly, get yours.